Hey guys, I'm going to be doing another episode in the Truth About series today. Well, actually, I'm not, but my husband is, my sweet husband. Dalton is with me tonight, and he's got an extra fun topic. I promise I did not make him choose this. He did this one on his own. He's going to be telling us the truth about selfish decisions. And so I'm going to let you get right to it, babe.
Okay. Well, thank you again for having me as a guest for one. For two, I want to start off by reading the definition of a selfish decision. Okay, well, the definition behind selfish decision is one made by excessively or exclusively focusing on one's own advantage, pleasure, or well-being, without sufficient regard for the needs or feelings of others, often putting personal gain above others' welfare. Okay. Well, yeah, that hit pretty good. I'm gonna read my I'm gonna read my Bible verse. Uh, you guys, and then I will tell you a story or two about some selfish decisions in my past life that costed not only one of my parents, but both of my parents a lot of money, and how it personally affected them. The verse I'm gonna read is from Proverbs 28:26, and that is, the one who trusts in himself is a fool, but one who walks in wisdom will be safe. And I got one more actually, and it's from Proverbs 28, but it's 28:22. A greedy one is in a hurry for wealth. He doesn't know the poverty will come to him. And I did not ever see a life like this ever coming to me, or the road that I was on. And really, I want to talk to you guys about the time that I stole my mom's car. Uh, and really, I was 14 years old on a really bad path. I was a full blown alcoholic at the time. I made the decision of getting there. And no matter what my mom said, um, at the end of the night, at the end of the day, I still chose to find my own way to get what I wanted and make the decisions that I made. And sadly, one night, that led to me going to steal my mom's car. And little did I know that one little ride was going to change everything. And not only in my life, but my parents' life. If I would have just done what my mom said and, walked down the right path, then I wouldn't have made it there. But I absolutely went to stay at a friend's and made the decision of walking to back to my house with my buddies and took my mom's car in the middle of the night. It was snowy, and well, I made it about 5 minutes to the ditch, and it was not that far from the house, thankfully. No, it was actually in my parents' yard at the time that I made it to. But I kid you not, I did not only make a selfish decision that night. I took my mom's car and I totaled it. And that was her transportation to work. That was her transportation of getting us kids to where we needed to be. That was the transportation of getting our food. It was our main transportation at the time. We only had one vehicle, and I made the selfish decision of taking it and wrecking it and totaling it. Couldn't get it back. Dad had to figure something out before he went back out of town to make more money for us. We we live and we learn. We really do. Uh, Another story is when I decided to go drinking and driving. Uh, it was the night before I had turned 17, and I was going out partying with a friend. She actually was able to get the alcohol, and we was just sitting there driving around, and we went halfway through that bottle, and we was on the way to actually pick up my sister and from a house party. We got right outside of town, and next thing I knew, I found myself in a ditch. Man, I was doing 75 miles an hour out of a 35-mile-an-hour zone. And I hit an embankment, and we ramped 174 feet in a mini SUV, and well, that forever changed my life and my friend's life at the time. We're lucky that we honestly didn't die. If we would have been in anything smaller, the cops said we would have. But for making a selfish decision of getting behind the wheel and doing what I wanted, I put somebody in the hospital, and I put myself in jail. And luckily at the time, thankfully, God was really looking out for me and guiding me along the life, because even though it wasn't his path at the time, he was still watching over me, and I'm able to be here today and change my life.
I think we all know stories like this, maybe where people have made selfish decisions, if not people we know or love, as maybe even ourselves. And those can have lasting consequences far beyond, far beyond just, going to a hospital or being hurt temporarily or a little bit of jail time. Those can be lifelong impacts of, death or, um, just accidental harm that you cause to somebody in a situation like that, that causes you to have to sacrifice the rest of your life and pay the consequences for it. And ultimately, I think we find hope and peace and joy in the fact that regardless of if we make those mistakes earthside and if we have to pay consequences for a short time or maybe even unfortunately for a long time, that somebody did actually step in and pay the price for us, that somebody is willing to forgive us, somebody is willing to take the lifelong eternity of consequences that we deserve for whatever we've done. And Jesus is willing, he already did it. He's not willing. He already was willing and already did do it. He died for us and was that sacrifice so that we can not have to pay an eternity of consequences. And I think that your testimony is really amazing. I think it's really brave of you to share. I know that those things are far in your past now, but they still impact you really heavily and have definitely guided you closer to God and made you just more aware of the fact that selfish decisions come with really big consequences sometime. And so I just thank you for sharing with us. I love you so much.
I love you too.
All right, guys, we'll be praying for you. Stay blessed.